everyone, and welcome back. I hope everyone is feeling well and healthy and ready to get moving. For those of you who don't know, my name is Linaja and I will be a yoga teacher for the next half hour or so. All right, many of you may have noticed by now that I'm wearing very colorful pants. Yeah, I know I'm a bit late, but it's still June, so I just wanted to wish everyone a happy Pride Month. I wanted to do it in the first week, but I didn't post that week, and then the next week I forgot. So here we are. Still June, so it still counts. Right. So today's flow sort of goes hand in hand with last week's flow. So last week we focused on releasing, and this week I like to think of it as embracing and exploring our newfound freedom. It's going to be basically a normal Vinyasa flow, but I want our awareness to be on exploring the body a little bit more, on loosening the body, and actually feeling free. Last week we focused on releasing, and a lot of tension can be held within the body. And I know it's been a week, maybe you've acquired some more tension, but just consciously release that tension. And then today, if you've released the tension, maybe you can bend forward a little bit more or things like that. Maybe your body is just a bit more loose. And so let's see if we can explore. As always listen to your body. If something really feels wrong for you, if it feels painful, don't do it. If something is a bit challenging, do it. I always like to encourage that, we challenge ourselves, push our borders a little bit, see if we can do a little bit more. And yeah, just be aware and present with yourself. And the other, as always make sure you've got your blocks and straps. You may need them, you may not need them, just make sure you've got them. And you know what your replacements can be. If you don't know what your replacements can be, check out last week's video, because like I said, it goes hand in hand with this one. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed already, make sure to do that. And I think that's all. Yeah, I think that's all. Okay, let's get started. So we're going to have a voiceover from here. You're going to see my lips moving, but my mouth won't be moving with the voice. So we are going to start here in our rock pose. We know this one can be very intense on the feet. So if it is too much, we can always come forward for a little bit, tap through the fingers, maybe wiggle through the ankles, and then we gently come back. And I would like to encourage you guys to hold this one for as long as you can. If you've really been holding it for as long as you can and it's still too much, you can come down onto the tops of your feet. Or the other option is also to use a block. So this is where I say some of us can use a block, some of us maybe not. What we'll do here is we'll place the block underneath the bum. You'll see that I move the block into a different direction. It actually is more comfortable. It doesn't really look more comfortable, but it is. So we'll sit here, and this will really ease the tension on the feet. And as time goes on, you'll see that I had the block long ways, and then we'll put it on the side, and then we'll sit on that, come a bit lower, become a bit more comfortable in it, and then eventually we can place the block on its shorter side. We can also put it in between the feet and the bum, but that'll still be quite intense on the ankles. So if your ankles are the issue, then maybe not that one. Otherwise, let us begin. Let's get into our meditative states. So just starting as always, bringing ourselves into the present moment, becoming aware of our surroundings, bringing ourselves into a space. The truth is that this moment is really all that exists, and when we're able to bring ourselves into this moment, we can really bring ourselves to relax. Especially because this is time that we have dedicated to ourselves, to taking care of ourselves. And so let's come into this moment, realize that we're here with gratitude. And we slowly bring the awareness inward until we eventually get to the body. And once we get to the body, we do a nice scan through the body, making sure that we're relaxed throughout the body. We don't have tension in the shoulders, in the jaw, and the butt cheeks. Relaxed as much as we can. And then let's bring the awareness to the breath. So not forcing or changing anything just yet, just becoming aware of the breath. And if you'd like to set an intention for the practice here, you may. Otherwise, just feeling the air as it comes in and out of the nostrils. And then you can start to breathe deeper here. So breathing in and out through the nose. If you're familiar with your Ujjayi breath, you can start with that. Really expanding through the belly. Alright, if you'd like to stay there, you can. The rest of us can come down onto the tops of our feet. I was in this pose for quite a while that day, so I decided to come down. And let's start off by rolling through the shoulders. So let's roll back. And then let's change directions, rolling forward with the shoulders. Really relaxing through the top of the body. Let's inhale, bring the arms up, and then let's bring them as far back as we can, challenging the range of motion here. For some reason, this is where my mic stopped working. And then let's inhale, grow tall. And then we're going to make sure that we still have the hips tucked in for this next movement. So make sure that we're not arching through the back. Inhaling, grow tall, and then let's come back into a back bend. And then let's bring the hands behind us, interlacing the fingers. And then we're going to bring the head, the crown of the head down onto the mat. And we're going to bring the arms over as much as we possibly can, trying to get the hands to touch the floor behind us. Breathing. Really challenging the range of motion here in the shoulders, stretching through the shoulders. And then let's come back into a child's pose. Still have the hands behind us, and let's lift the arms again. Again, challenging the range of motion, but here we don't have gravity helping us. And then let's inhale, come up, and then we come into a back bend. So if your hands release to the floor, releasing them, and let's open up through the heart, allowing the head to come back, breathing, and then let's release. Inhale, arms come up. And then we're going to do some side stretches here. So stretching the arms to the side. If you'd like, you can sit the bum beside the feet and not on the feet. Really just depends on how much of a stretch you want here. This will give you a bit more of a stretch. Let's do the other side. Breathing into the side, breathing into the stretch. And then let's release the hands, and we're going to come into our hands and feet, into our tabletop position. We're going to enjoy our cat-cow. So inhaling, dropping the belly, looking up. And we exhale, we round the back, looking towards the belly. And again, inhale, dropping the belly, looking up. And we exhale, starting the movement from the tailbone, looking towards the belly. And then one last time, inhaling, looking up. And let's exhale, looking towards the belly. And then from here, let's just explore, do whatever movement we feel the body is needing. Whether you want to become a worm, whether you want to make circles, whether you want to move side to side, whatever it is that you feel your body needs. This is a nice one to just explore through the body. We can move back, we can move forward. Really exploring, like I said. So we do whatever it is that the body needs. And then we straighten one arm. So we're just going to prepare for the next thing that we're going to do. So straightening one arm at a time. You can see I'm not holding it for long here. Just loosening through the shoulders, loosening through the torso, through the back. And then let's go into it. So we're going to come into a sort of half puppy pose. So we bring the one hand in front of us and then we bend through the other arm. If you can get the elbow all the way down, then do that. And you'll feel you get quite a nice stretch through the shoulder here, through the pectoral a little bit as well. And just breathe. Of course, we're going to do the other side. So just breathe here. Okay, now we change to the other side. So now the other arm comes forward. Drop onto the elbow if you did with the other arm. Feeling the stretch through the shoulder, through the pectorals. And then when we move to the other side, you can choose either you're going to do both arms one more time again, or we do both arms. And yes, both arms at the same time. And then you can see here I was just demonstrating if you want to do both arms, otherwise keep the arm in. Breathe. And then we change arms if you're not doing both arms at the same time. And then we've got a visitor in the shot. Alright, and we come up. Now I want you to just straighten out both legs just to see where your legs should be in a plank, and then we release back onto the knees. And we're going to do, I think these are dives, I'm not really sure what these are called, but we're going to dive ourselves forward. So you'll see here we bend through the arms, bring the chest down, slide ourselves forward, and we inhale, push ourselves up. And then bend through the legs again, and we do it again. We can also do the other variation where we come from our downward dog. So from here, we'll bend through the arms, bring ourselves down and up, and then bring ourselves back up into our downward dog. We can come back into our downward dog in a different variation. So here we'll see, we bend through the arms, come back up, and then we can maybe bend the legs and bring ourselves up. If you can do it without bending the legs, that's also fine. Or once you're in your upward dog, you just bring the hips up, no issue. If you haven't started already, let's go. So inhale, coming down. And then as we exhale, we bring ourselves back up. Inhale, coming down. And exhale, bring ourselves back up. Inhale down. Exhale up, inhale down, exhale up, and our last time, inhale down, and we exhale up. Alright, so now if you're not already in your downward dog, coming up into your downward dog, and then let's just become comfortable here. So walking through the feet, releasing through the backs of the legs, breathing. And then we're going to lift up our left leg, and then we're going to roll ourselves forward, coming into a side plank, and then we bring the arm up. So as you bring your arm up, it would be nice if you brush the other arm as you come up. Let's see if you can lift up that top leg. And if you can't do it with both legs straight, that's fine. You just bend the bottom leg and you can still lift up that top leg. So let's come back in. Oops. So we lift up that top leg and let's bring it behind us, and we bring the hand sort of behind us as well. Imagine like you're trying to reach that hand for that foot. And then let's release the hand back and we come back into our three-legged dog. Release the foot to the back of the other foot so we get a nice stretch through the calf here. Breathing into the stretch. And then let's bring the foot back up, and then we're going to bring the knee into the chest and then turn. Now we're on the other hand and we stretch out the foot. You can either rest the foot here, or you can bring it up, or you can alternate between the two. So bringing the foot up and down. Let's bring it back into the chest, back into our plank, and we find ourselves back in our downward dog. Breathe here. Take a short rest before we do the other side. Let's inhale, lift up the right foot. And same thing, so we roll our bodies forward, come into our side plank. Remember to choose your variation here. Let's see if we can lift up that top foot, and then we bring it behind us. Imagine like we're reaching for the hand behind us. Breathe. And then we come into our three-legged dog once again. bringing the foot behind the other foot so we can get a nice stretch through the calf. Breathing, and then we inhale, bring it back up, and we bring the knee into the chest so we can turn onto the other hand. We stretch out the leg, and remember the variation that you chose on the other side, so whether you're resting the foot on the floor or pumping it. And we bring the knee back into the chest, back into our plank, and we find ourselves back in our downward dog. And let's just enjoy a little bit of movement here again. I encourage you to move your hips side to side, or you can just enjoy stillness as well, whatever you like. Breathing. And then we're going to choose whether we step, walk, or jump feet in between the hands. So if you're walking, just make sure to keep the legs as straight as possible for as long as possible. And then let's just enjoy the forward fold here for a little bit. Forward folds can be quite relaxing. You can just move side to side if you like. If you want to, you can also grab onto the opposite elbows or just hang. Just enjoying it, breathing. And then let's inhale, roll the spine coming up, the arms come up above the head. And as we exhale, the hands come down to the heart. Alright, and then we're going to bring our left knee into the chest. Hug it in, give yourself some love. Let's twist through the ankle in one direction, changing directions. And then we're going to bring the arms up into the air. And then let's see if we can straighten the leg in front of us. If the leg is a bit lower, that's fine. Just breathe here. And then let's see, can you bring your leg around you and you tilt the torso forward? We find ourselves in a warrior 3. Hold the warrior 3 here, breathe. And then we're going to bend the front leg, drop the leg back. We find ourselves in a high lunge. Just breathe here for a second. We drop the left hand down. The right hand comes behind us as we turn onto the outside edge of both feet. Breathing here, you should feel something coming through the glute. And then let's inhale, come back around. And then let's heel to the foot towards the outside of the mat so we find ourselves in our lizard pose. Still have the back leg out straight. Let's sway side to side here, enjoying our lizard pose. As always, breathing, feeling the stretch coming through the hips, feeling the strength in that back leg. And then we're going to heel toe the foot back in between the hands and we release. We come into our, I think this is a half squat. Breathing. You can have your hands on the floor or at your heart, wherever your hands find themselves. And then let's straighten out both hands. So you'll see that the one hand is on the outside of the foot. And then we drop the other hand to the inside of the other foot. And we stretch over. This one will be quite a challenge, but we're exploring. That's what we're doing today. Let's turn ourselves around and we're going to hop back up into our warrior 3. This time we're going to have our hands next to the body. Ooh, see, I'm falling here. All right, breathing. And then bring the knee back into the chest. Give yourself a nice big hug. Give your knee a kiss, just to, give yourself some love. And then let's drop the knee. All right. And then we're going to do the other side. So now we lift up the right foot, hug it in, twisting through the ankle. Remember to change directions. And then straightening the arms up, and we straighten the leg forward. And then let's see, can we bring the leg all the way around and find ourselves in our warrior 3. Hold it here, keep your balance, breathe. Breathe, and then we bend the leg, find ourselves in our high lunge, just a quick one. We're going to release the right hand onto the floor as we turn onto the outside edge of both feet, and the left hand comes outside, behind us. Enjoy this one. It's a bit of a different movement to what we usually do. We come back around and we heel toe the foot out, so we come back into our lizard pose. Once again, we can sway side to side here, just enjoying our lizard pose. Feel the strength through that back leg, feel the stretching through the hips, and you'll feel that each hip feels something different. Just enjoy it. Move however you feel you need to move to enjoy the different aspects of this pose. And then let's heel toe the foot back in, and we turn, find ourselves here in our half squat. Breathing. If you don't have the foot on the floor, that's also fine. You can get maybe a little book and put it underneath the floor, or just one day you'll find yourself there. Let's stretch out the arms. Breathing. Feel wherever you feel the stretch. And then we come all the way to the other side, so the hand comes to the inside of the foot or of the leg. We breathe. This one can be quite a challenge. Make sure to try to open up through that bent leg. We come back around into our high lunge, and remember, we're going to kick ourselves up. So let's get prepared, and up. Find ourselves in our warrior 3 with the hands next to the body. Breathe here, and then we're going to bring the knee back in towards the chest. Give yourself a hug, and if you kiss your knee on the other side, you got to give this knee some love as well, of course. Alright, we can release the knee here, and then bring the feet wide apart so that we can come down into our yogic squat. And then let's use the elbows to push the knees out apart, having the hands at our chest. And here as well, we can do some movement, some side to side movement. And if you don't have your feet flat on the floor, that's fine. Once again, you can either have something underneath the feet, or you just work with what you got, and eventually the feet might just come down just through persistent practice. Let's release the bum onto the mat, and let's hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice big hug. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring the hands behind the knee, and then let's straighten the legs as much as we can. If you feel that you need to let go of your grip here a little bit in order to straighten, that's also fine. So you'll see you're going to lean back a little bit if you need to let go. But here we're really just challenging our balance a bit differently. Just enjoy it, breathe. And then this next one that we're going to do, you can either hold a boat, or you can join me in another balancing pose. So here's the boat, and then what you're going to do is you're going to grab the outsides of your feet, you straighten the legs, and then you bring the legs apart. So you can also hold onto the ankles or onto the shins if you can't exactly reach your feet. But see, we're sitting up tall, bringing our chest out, and then let's gently bring ourselves onto our back, and we nicely find ourselves in our happy baby. Swaying side to side here in the happy baby, and then let's release the one leg, so we come into a half happy baby. We did a half puppy pose, so I think it's only appropriate that we do a half happy baby. And feel the difference in the stretch here. This is kind of like an upside down lizard. Let's change legs, so we bring the one foot in again, and we bring the other out. Feeling the stretch, enjoying, breathing. And then we're going to bring the foot back in, just so that we can come into a glute stretch. So we place the foot over the knee. Remember, we bring the one hand in between the legs and the other hand to the outside. We interlace the fingers behind the knee, and we pull it in. If you'd like to feel more of a stretch in this one, you're going to lean away from the glute that is actually being stretched. And we just breathe. Remember to keep both feet flexed in this one. Breathing. Breathe into the glute. And then what we're going to do next is we're going to grab onto the foot, or you can grab onto the ankle, and we're going to stretch out both legs and try to get the foot to touch the knee of the leg that's obviously closer to the face. So like I said, if you can't grab onto your foot, you can just grab onto the leg and then bring yourself as close as possible. You might not be able to get your head to the knee. That's fine. Just bringing yourself as close as you can. Breathing here, feel the stretch through the hamstrings. And then we come back into our happy baby pose just to transition to the other side. So we start off with the glute stretch. You remember how we do that, pulling the knee in. And then if you'd like to feel more of a stretch, you then lean over away from the glute that is being stretched. Breathing. Remember to flex both feet and just enjoy it here. Taking some nice deep breaths. And then of course we have to do the other side, so get prepared. You're going to either grab onto the ankle or onto the foot. We straighten both legs, bring the head up towards the knee. Feel the stretch. Breathing. Enjoying it. And then we let go and we find ourselves in our Shavasana. So whether you choose to do your butterfly variation or you straighten your legs, if you feel you need to, you can also bring the knees up. And let's just quieten down, and you will hear me speaking here. Thank you. So just allowing the body to completely release and relax here. Do a nice scan to make sure that you are completely released and relaxed. There are times when we can be holding tension and we don't even notice. Maybe the shoulders aren't completely releasing. Maybe you're clenching your jaw. Maybe you're squinting your eyes. If you're squinting your eyes because of light, try covering the eyes. Once you've done your scan and you've got the whole body relaxed, the next step is to release through the mind. And we do so by just coming into the present moment. And in this present moment, all that we are doing is laying on the floor and breathing. Paying attention to the in-breaths and to the out-breaths. Feeling as the belly rises and falls. Feeling the air coming in and out of the nose. We've got some cool air coming into the nose, some warm air coming out. If you'd like to stay here for longer, please do. Otherwise, if you're waking up with me now, let's wiggle through the fingers, wiggle through the toes, flop the feet side to side. If your legs are straightened, flop the head side to side. If you don't have ponytails, bring up the knees if they aren't up already, and then let's turn over onto one side. let's push ourselves up. Come into our cross-legged position. Give ourselves just a moment. Coming back to the world. Coming back refreshed. Let's bring the hands to the sides. Inhaling, the arms come up. Exhale, hands come down to your heart. Inhaling, arms come up. Exhaling, the hands come down to the heart. And for the last time, we take a big breath up. Exhale, the hands come down to the heart. Take some time to thank yourself for dedicating this time to your mind and to your body. And I thank you so much for joining me. Namaste. I hope you guys are feeling free. I hope you are feeling relaxed, and I hope you manage to challenge yourself through this practice. And I hope I will see you again next week. Like I said, if you haven't subscribed already, please do. Please give this video a like. Leave a comment down below. Maybe you can wish everyone happy Pride Month. Let me know how you found it. I'd really appreciate some feedback. And also if there's anything that you guys are looking for. And yeah, I'll see you guys again next week. Bye.